Howdy you fine set of individuals, and welcome to episode 4 of Wandering Throttle. In this episode we'll be having a quick look at some of the adventures that we've got coming up in 2026 and the people that are going to be involved in them. But first, so the plan for today is I'm going to unhook the trickle charge and rehook the battery. I'll give the bike a test, make sure that it's still all working. Then I'm going to tinker with the quad lock. There's a couple of adjustments I want to make on that for this year. I then want to change the headlight. I've got a new Pathfinder headlight to go in, and I want to try and do that. I then also need to put on the sissy bar, pillion seat, and then hopefully the luggage rack as well. So let's get to it. So, to get access to the battery terminals, we first need to remove the seat. Now, when we're disconnecting the battery, you've got to remember you disconnect with the negative first and then the positive, and then when you're reconnecting the battery, you go positive to negative. Okay, that's the important stuff out of the way. So I decided to reconnect the battery before disconnecting it again to do the headlamp. The reason for that is just to make sure that everything's in running order after the winter. So task 1 was to replace the LED bulb. When I got this bike there was a halogen bulb in there. I then replaced that with the LED bulb. I'm now wanting to upgrade to the Indian Pathfinder lamp. One of the trickiest bits with this modification is you've got to use the original bevel. You don't get a new bevel with the lamp. Another hats off to the guys down at Moose Motorsport, purely because these little brackets that attach the bevel to the lamp, obviously they can snap quite easily when you're taking the lamp out. Fortunately none of mine have. However, I am going to replace them with the new ones that Moose supply with the lamp. Again, not sponsored by Moose, just people I've found who do their job and do their job really well. Well, I may have had a little bit of technical difficulty there, and it seems that the GoPro ran out of battery. But the headlight is now fitted. If it is something you are going to give a go, what I would recommend is getting all the little brackets in place first. I was going to show you an example there, but I don't know where I put them. Get all the little brackets in place first. Make sure that you've got a little bit of pressure on the bevel and the headlamp just to line them up correctly. There is a little notch at the bottom of the headlamp that fits into the bevel. So if you just make sure those are lined up while you're getting all the little brackets in. Right, so that's 2 of the 4 jobs sorted. We're now going to move on to the pillion seat and the sissy bar. Right, well, there we are. Unfortunately the camera died towards the end of that one, so you didn't get to see the end. However, as you can see, the sissy bar's on, pillion seat's on, pillion pegs are on, front lights on as well. I did put the luggage rack on the back, but when I put it on, I'll be honest, I didn't really like the look of it, so I'm going to leave it off for now. But come the adventures this year, I might end up putting it back on, but we'll see. Speaking of the adventures this year, what we've got planned is come Friday, Good Friday, me and Mrs. Throttle will be heading out on the bike as a bit of a test run. It's the first time that she'll have been on the Indian, so it'll be a nice little test for her. Then Easter Sunday we'll be doing the Durham Easter egg ride, which is always good fun. There'll be Bob and Mrs. Bob will also be there on the Panzer. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. Later in the year, in June, myself, Mrs. Throttle on the Indian, we'll have Bob and Mrs. Bob on the Panzer. Hopefully Frosty will be along on his little Kiwi, and we'll have Mr. Tate as well in the support vehicle. We'll all be heading up to Scotland. We've got a nice little route planned. We're going to head up the west coast, past staying at Moffat. Then we're going to head up to Kinlochleven, stay in Kinlochleven, and then make our way home over 1 or 2 days, depending on how the adventure goes. And then in August, I'll be heading down south and meeting up with a Durbinator down in the Peak District. He'll be coming up from Cardiff, and I'll be heading down again on the Indian, and we'll be doing a spot of camping. So make sure that you stay tuned for that one. Obviously, if you do want to catch those videos, make sure you subscribe, or don't. That's up to you. But for now, I'm going to head inside because I've been outside for about 2.5 hours now. So I want to go get warm, grab a brew, and hopefully I'll see you in a few. All right, thank you very much.